Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to In the Kitchen with Hallie Faye. It is a beautiful day today. It's Saturday, and I am ready to get out there and do some mowing. But I figured I would get in here first and show y'all how to make that delicious devil's food cake that I posted a day or two ago. I just want y'all to know this one is worthy of you getting a pencil and piece of paper to write the ingredients down on this. So I'm going to give you just a minute to go get them. Go do it now, okay? And I'll wait on you just a minute here. But while you're doing that, I'll talk to you and stuff. I have everything. I tried to get everything measured out that I could. So we're going to mix this cake up together. And I'll tell you all the ingredients and stuff on it and measurements and all. And I will get it in the oven. And then we'll go ahead and make the icing while it's baking, and then I will come back and we'll do the icing and stuff and put it on the cake and stuff after I get it out of the oven and all. But we're going to bake the cake and make the icing in this video right here, and I'll give you all the ingredients and stuff. So I've got it all measured out, ready to rock. So are y'all ready? Let me get a drink. I've got the Thirsties this morning, or today. It's 1:15 in the afternoon already. I wish they'd make up their mind about the time change. I don't care. I don't. Buzz loves this time change, and I get it. You know, he has daylight hours when he gets in from work. I don't care. Just leave it alone. Whatever you want to choose. Just pick one, people. Anyway, here we go. Y'all got your pencil and paper ready? Okay. This is the homemade devil's food cake. And if you do this and follow this recipe exactly as I'm telling you everything, you'll never make another boxed one again. This thing is delicious, y'all. It really is. So, be prepared. You're going to need a cup of coffee, okay? You're going to need 1 cup of coffee. And this is where I try to tell people, you know, which I don't have to have it because we've got coffee all the time. But if you're not coffee drinkers or whatever, or not big coffee drinkers, get you a little old jar to have in your pantry of the little instant coffees. Not any flavored ones I'm talking about, just regular coffee, okay? But just get you a little old jar of the instant coffee, and that's all you got, because in general, that's all it's calling for is a cup, you know, a cup probably at the most. But anyway, that's all you got to do is stir it up, you know, and you got your coffee for these desserts and stuff. And remember the gravy recipe I showed you? Yeah, you know, you need a little bit of coffee. So, have your little thing in the pantry. It's worthy of it, and it lasts forever. Forever. It will not go bad on you. I don't know how. I've never known of it doing that. But anyway, all right, pencils and paper, and here we go, okay? This is your homemade chocolate devil's food cake. All right, I have my oven is preheated. It says 325. I put mine on 330. So, you know, because that's really baking slow, you know, to me it is. Yeah. But anyway, 325 to 330 right there on your oven preheat, okay? My pan is greased and floured and ready to go. 9 by 13 dish. See? I have it all good and ready. And this one is one of my Pyrex. This one's the Pyrex. And this big old thing is absolutely one of my favorite cake pans. I love this one. It bakes the cake really pretty. You know, it's heavy. The glass is heavy and stuff, and it's glass, and so it does it evenly all the way around. So anyway, all right, here we go. I have in my mixer ready to go here. You're going to mix all your dry ingredients together first, okay? You're going to mix all these together first. You have 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon baking powder, 2 teaspoons baking soda, 3/4 cup cocoa, and 2 cups of sugar. And that's what I have in my mixer. And I took me a little hand mixer because of that cocoa. You know how it'll cloud up on you? I took my little hand mixer and mixed it all up really well in this pot before, in my mixing bowl, before I put it in here. I didn't want the big cloud of cocoa flying everywhere, okay? All right, so we're gonna mix this together. The next thing you're gonna do is add, and that's what I have in this bowl right here ready to go. This has in it 1 cup of vegetable oil, 1 cup. It says hot coffee, but mine's no longer hot, and I'm not worried about that. Anyway, 1 cup of coffee, and then 1 cup of milk, meaning sweet milk, okay? That's what I have in here. What we're gonna do is we're gonna mix our dry ingredients. I have to read this because I'm not able to tell it to you otherwise. Okay, mix at medium speed, 2 minutes. Oh, okay, we've got our, sorry, my bad. You've got our dry ingredients mixed together. Okay, now, we are going to add our wet ingredients here, which is the oil, the coffee, and the milk, okay? We're going to mix that for 2 minutes on medium speed, okay? Then the next thing we're going to add to that are 2 beaten eggs and a teaspoon of vanilla. So I have 2 large eggs and a teaspoon of vanilla sitting here ready to wait. It doesn't say beaten, but I went ahead and just beat them up with my vanilla in there, and it's ready to pour in there, okay? Yep, we're going to add the eggs and vanilla after we add our liquid ingredients, okay? And it says on here, expect the batter to be thin. So let's see what happens. We're going to take that from there, okay? Go ahead, and I'm going to pour in my oil. Let's see, what is it? My oil, my coffee, and my milk in here. Can you see where I'm at? Okay. All right, let me set this over here. We'll turn that on. Slow at first for a minute. Let me get me a spatula. Always want to scrape the sides. Pull y'all in a little bit more. Get in here on this gig. Okay. Alright, add your oil, coffee, and milk. Mix at medium speed for 2 minutes. Now obviously I need to scrape the sides. Let me do that. And it is thin. It's thin looking like a, you know, like a sheet cake batter. Have you ever made the sheet cakes? And you know how the batter's real thin on them? That's how it looks. It's kind of odd, isn't it? But I tell you what, this booger is good. And I tell you what, I think the coffee is the secret in this recipe. I truly do. I don't know that, but I'd lay money it is. All right, we're going to let that beat a minute. It says a couple minutes. And the next thing we do is add our eggs and vanilla. And we're going to beat it 2 more minutes, okay? I want to make sure all that's incorporated really well into each other. Alright, we're going to call that good. And now I'm going to add my eggs and vanilla. And it really is worthy to have all this stuff together. Like I've got it set up now. It's so much better when you go to mixing it. Getting it all together. It just makes it so easy. You have it right there. Everything's ready to put in the bowl as ordered. Okay, here we go. See, that's it on the cake. It's that easy. And I always say, well, I'll tell you all the ingredients again at the end of the video, and I always forget. I don't know, I always forget, right? But I will. I'll try. I'll try my best to remember to do that. I swear it looks like the Texas sheet cake batter. It's so thin. But it doesn't cook up like that. When it bakes up, it's not like that. You know how sheet cake's real heavy like? And this is really moist, but it still has some air bubbles in there that it makes it be cake. Cake, I call it. Not a sheet cake texture. Okay. That is it on that. Scrape the sides here. Make sure everything is all in it there. Oh, my little thing's wanting to come off. Okay, there we go. I'm going to show it to y'all how thin it is. Yeah, maybe it ain't quite as thin as it's kind of in between, I guess, but it's definitely thicker than just what you would consider a cake batter, or I do. Let me turn the little light on. I don't even have the light on. Let's see. Look. See how wiggly that is? Yep. Okay. We're fixing to pour this up and put it in the oven, and then we're going to make our icing. So, let me back you up a little bit where I can get this 9 by 13. And I'm just going to pour it in here. Y'all see how thin that is like that? A cake batter don't pour out that thin. A cake batter. But don't be scared. Don't be scared. This booger is good. Some kind of good. Alright, set that over here. Open my oven up and have it ready. Okay. There it is. We're fixing to go in the oven. And oh, one thing. I'm going to put my timer on for 20 minutes. Let's see. Timer. Just because I want to check it by then, because there's no time on this one. And even though I have made this thing more than once, every time, by the time I get ready to make it again, I cannot remember how long I put it in there for. So, I'm just going to watch it, and hopefully, I will remember to be able to tell y'all how long it took to bake it. But otherwise, you check it. Do like I'm doing. I got 20 minutes on it, which I know it's not going to be done in 20 minutes. But that way I can check it, see how far along it is, and start watching it from there, right? Okay? And I don't like to overdo my cakes. I don't want them dried out. I do not like a dried out cake of any kind. Cupcake, muffin, cakes, bread, whatever, you know, like banana breads and stuff or whatever. I want mine moist. So, let me wash my little mixing bowl out, and we are going to get started on this icing. Wash the batter off of it good. Look out them windows, y'all, how pretty and bright it is. I bet y'all are outside today, too, while I'm doing this video. I want to get out there and mow. I've got got me a new mower this year, y'all, and I'm so excited. I do a lot of mowing. A lot of mowing. And I got me a 0 radius this year. I'm so excited. Yes. Fun. I can mow for days. Yes, I can. All right, I'm going to pull my mixing bowl off a little bit. I don't want it to be hot in that hot water because I got to cream my butter. Okay. I'm going to let that sit there a minute, and I'm going to tell y'all what to have, and I'm going to tell y'all what to have and be ready for your icing, okay? You got your paper? Here we go. You need 2 sticks of butter. You need 3½ cups of powdered sugar. I'm not sure that we use all of that, but we'll see when I get to dumping it in there. Then we need a big 1/2 cup of cocoa. Matter of fact, I have a notation on here that you can add another 1/4 cup more of cocoa for a darker icing, in which I did, okay? But it's a 1/2 cup of cocoa on the regular recipe, but if you want a darker icing, you can add 1/4 cup more, okay? All right, 3 tablespoons of heavy cream or just milk. If you don't have any heavy cream, just whole milk or whatever, it's fine, okay? Then 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt and 2 teaspoons of vanilla, okay? That's what we need for this icing. It's a chocolate buttercream icing like. And all we're gonna do is cream this butter, and then we add all the rest of the ingredients to it. That's all we do. So, let me get my mixing bowl. My handy dandy mixing bowl. Oh my goodness. There's been a bajillion mixes done with it. Okay. Dry it out good. All right, first let me get my beater. Okay, now I got it on there. All right, I'm going to add. See, look, I've got all my stuff sitting right here. Let me show it to you. Right? I've got it all right there. Everything's ready. I've got my 2 sticks of butter, my 3½ cups of powdered sugar, my 1/2 cup of cocoa, my 3 tablespoons of heavy cream with the 2 teaspoons of vanilla in it. And I got to get me a 1/8 teaspoon of salt when I get ready to do that. That's the only thing I don't have measured. And then, guys, I have, and you do not have to do this. This is just me doing this, and because we love it, I toasted a handful of coconut, and then I think I've told you before, I prefer walnuts over pecans. I just do, but I think pecans is what the original recipe might have called for if you wanted to put them on there, the optional thing. But anyway, I have a handful of toasted coconut that I just did in my little egg frying skillet on the stovetop. Just toss it in there and watch it and stir it around a little bit and everything, and it'll toast it just beautifully. So I have a handful of coconut in here. Not a handful, but anyway, good bit. And then a good bit of walnuts. None of that's measured. That's just what I'm going to put on there at the very, very last, okay? But, anyhow, we're fixing to do this icing. Get it done. Sorry about that. I had to run outside. Somebody pulled up. Okay. I'll start over here. All right, I have my 2 sticks of butter. And I've had them out for a little bit. I want them room temperature, but not just, you know, really, really warm. Take that and cream it up good. And then it says just to add the rest of the ingredients. So I'm going to add my liquids in here first. Just get some of this off the side here. Move this. Okay, I'm going to do that. I'll go ahead and add my 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. Okay, so that's my 1/8 teaspoon of salt in there. 1/8 teaspoon of salt, and my butter's cream. And now let me turn this down a little bit, and I'm going to go ahead, like I say, and add my cream and vanilla in here. I'm going to let that cream together good. I just happen to have some of the heavy whipping cream. I don't always have that. It just so happens I had some for some recipes I had been. It's good though. Alright, let that mix up good. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and add my cocoa. I'm getting dusted by that one anyway. Dusted by that. I'm going to add just and dusted by the powdered sugar. Lord have mercy. I'm just going to add half of that bowl right now. Get it mixed in there. I've had, sorry for the glitches in the videos if there is some, but I'll try to edit it good. But I've had 3 interruptions since I started this recipe that I've had to shut the camera off. So it happens, right? I can just get this to start mixing so it'll quit dusting me. Let me get some of it down in there in the butter and the cream. Whew. Okay. Man, that's tough. Okay, let me check it now where I can scrape it out of here on the sides. Finally get it all getting together. My other spatula is missing. How do you lose a spatula? If anybody can do it, I can, y'all. I am that person. I put stuff up, you know, where I think is the perfect spot, and it's not. Okay, I've got to add more powdered sugar because I got a lot left in here. I hear my 20-minute beeper going off because of my interruptions. Hold on. Okay, we're coming along with it, so I'm going to... Alright, that was 20 minutes. I'm putting it back on for 15 more minutes, okay? Alright, here we go with our powdered sugar. Woo. Alright, I put it all in there, y'all. 3½ cups. Let me get it off of here. And one last big whip on it. Oh, it's fluffy. Fluffy, fluffy. All right, let me see. We got to see, right? It's weird how it's not real dark, but it's very chocolatey. And that little bit of salt that's in there with all the powdered sugar is a must. Don't forget your 1/8 of a teaspoon of sugar in there, of salt in there. I'm sorry. Okay, we have our icing ready. I'll show it to y'all. Hey, look at it. So, it's very spreadable. I like that, where I don't have to worry about it tearing the cake up. So I'm just going to set my mixer over here. I'm going to have my old board ready to set the pan on when it comes out, and I'll have my my walnuts and my coconut ready to sprinkle on the top of it. So I will wait till the cake is done and let it cool just a little bit. But I like to put it on there when they're warm, you know. But I want it to cool off some, a little bit like that. Let it cool, and I'll be back, and we'll ice it together and see the finished product, okay? All right, everybody, we're back. The cake is done, and I timed it, and it took 45 minutes, okay? It was 45 minutes at 330, at 330 degrees in my oven. So remember, it was preheated 325 to 330, okay? And it baked up beautifully, and I went ahead and I got my icing out so it could be sitting here because my cake is still very warm, like I wanted it to be. I'm still surprised at how light this icing is. I must, on the last one, I must have put even more cocoa in there because it was darker than this, y'all. This is delicious, but I just thought, you know, and it's very chocolatey. So I'm not disappointed in it. I'm just kind of thinking it's odd. Kind of odd, like, you know, looking at you. But anyway, the icing is good, so don't worry about it. If you want it a little darker than that, add more cocoa. Just keep adding to it till you get it the color you want on there, okay? You know, if you want it really dark looking like that. Matter of fact, I'll remember that next time. I just want it darker. But anyway, it's got it hot enough that it's melting my icing so that, you know, it'll go down in there some, which I want that too. I want it to soak into that cake. So now it's spreadable. And seeing it's making it darker too, and maybe that's what the last time I did it, you know, I put that icing on there and it makes it darker as it melts. But it's a good bit of icing, so that's good. It gives it a good icing topping. And some of it gets to go down in there, and then some of it, you know, stays on top. So, like I say, my cake is, I'm going to call it medium warm, y'all. It's been setting out a few minutes, okay? So I do better with a spoon. I don't know why. I've said that before, and I think it's because it's got that metal back on it, and it just slides better. But, see, I just put my blobs on there and let them sit there a minute. And, boy, I got it all Wally Moppered, I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to just spread it out like that. Make sure I get it around the edges where some of it melts down in the edges. Let it do its thing there now. Okay. Alright, I'm just going to give it some swirls. Do that. And now, I'm going to put my toasted coconuts and walnuts on it. Coconuts. Oh my goodness. Looky here. I'm just going to do it like this. I may not put all of this on there, y'all, but it ain't like that toasted coconut and walnuts will be wasted. Believe you me. I'll be throwing them off in one of my breads or something. I think it'd be good in a banana bread recipe with walnuts and coconut in it. It could be different. And listen, if you don't like coconut and or walnuts and or pecans or whatever, don't put it on there. Just do a plain chocolate icing on it. I tell you what, I am going to put every bit of it on here. Ha ha, that's good. I like that because that's going to be good. And my icing is still kind of melting, and they're going to set up in there. And Buzz and I will love this. I'm going to have to take a picture of this one for my YouTube so I remember. I try to remember these things, y'all, but there is our delicious homemade devil's food cake with walnuts and toasted coconut on there. It's delicious, y'all. It's so worthy. I'm going to give you the ingredients, and I remembered, didn't I? Okay? Here we go. Double check yourself. 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon salt, 1 teaspoon baking powder, 2 teaspoons baking soda, 3/4 cup cocoa, 2 cups sugar, 1 cup vegetable oil, 1 cup coffee, 1 cup milk, 2 large eggs, teaspoon vanilla. That's your ingredients for your cake. Your ingredients for your icing: 2 sticks butter, 3½ cups powdered sugar, a big ½ cup of cocoa. We know that, right? Add 1/4 cup or even more to that if you want to. 3 tablespoons heavy cream or milk, 1/8 teaspoon of salt, and 2 teaspoons of vanilla. There is your measurements on your ingredients for your homemade devil's food cake. Listen, you guys, y'all have a wonderful weekend. I hope God blesses all of you, and I just hope everybody just has a good weekend. That's what we're going for here. Productive weekend. I like being productive. Being productive just makes you feel so good, whatever it is, right? So I'm fixing to get out there and be productive and mow. I'm fixing to go mow and have a wonderful weekend. And y'all take care, okay? Make this cake. Surprise them. They're going to love it. And you'll be proud, too, to serve it for company or just your family. And remember, y'all cook a meal this weekend and get at the table. gather at your table as a family and eat a wonderful homemade meal from something out of your pantry. Find it in your pantry. Be creative, okay? I love you guys, and thank you all for supporting me and all the views and comments and everything, and we'll see you next time, okay? In the kitchen with Tally Faye.